Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and this is the sign for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising for November 2021. And the decks I'm using today is the Fairy Tarot deck by Doreen, Radleigh, Valentine, and the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-Reid, and the Enchanted map by Colette-Baron-Reid. So those are the decks I'm using today. First one I've got is the Two of Autumn. So this is like multitasking. You may be doing one or two jobs or having two offers of employment for an Aquarian. You're very good at multitasking, juggling multiple jobs or priorities, but sometimes that leads to burnout. So it's telling you not to overdo things, like agreeing to doing more than what you can physically take on. Yes, you have high energy levels, but they can get really drained really quickly if you're in an environment that is conducive to lots of different people's energies. You're trying to read them all, it's very difficult. So in that situation, it's good to put a boundary and to shut down your energy to theirs and just be with that particular person at that particular time. I think that works better in an environment that's high energy. So I pulled across from that is the Princess of Summer, which is the Princess of Cups, and it's one of my favourite cards. It's looking at a Scorpio, Cancer or Pisces. It talks about a new relationship or an emotional experience or an invitation to a social event, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with, or it could be a person that is in your life. Maybe you have a child that has a moon or sun or rising in Scorpio, Cancer or Pisces. They're very dreamy, they're very emotional, they're gentle, they're kind, and they're a quieter energy. So you have to pick your times when you visit them. I find my son is a true Scorpion. He goes into hiding. I might not see him for weeks, and then he re-emerges and he's all happy. But he's needed to have that alone time in order to recharge his battery. And I've got a Scorpio moon, so I can totally relate to that. I shut myself off in my room, sometimes for a whole day, and emerge very late in the evening because I've had to recharge my battery. Because I'm an empath, I tend to take on other people's stuff and I absorb their negativity or sadness, and I try not to do that, but it's hard when you're an empath. So we have to isolate often. So COVID was perfect for me because that's what I do normally. I self-isolate. It's not always great for mental health, but it's actually good to recharge your esoteric field of energy. So that's what my son does, and I understand him based on the fact that I have Scorpio moon. So that's the Princess of Summer. They usually like to sit in a quiet area in a garden surrounded by nature. They're just that type of people. You'll find them outside or running around. They just like to be their alone time doing that. They're poetic. They like to journal. They like to write. They're probably writers at heart. And they've got a lot of emotions that they can't always process. They just keep in mind they're not very experienced in the world. They experience everything with their feelings, not always getting around to thinking things through. So you may have a social invitation, or coming up now with Christmas and the new year, you may have lots of invitations to go places if you've got a new job coming. In the past, it talks about a home that you were grateful to be living in. You had a very deep, contented personal life in peace and happiness. The castle is like a home life, so maybe you created a really nice home in your past, and maybe you're wanting to do that again in your future. Because home is where the heart is, and I think it gives us that stability. And if we don't have a permanent address, it's not very stabilizing. I'm currently in a shared house. I'm hoping to change that by getting a job so I can be in a place of peace and quiet and my own surroundings, so that I can just shut off from the world. So being grateful and saying thank you to your family, your co-workers, creates a circular flow. Just do it aloud or say it in your prayers, but just be grateful for the little things that you have in your life. It also talks about going to a baby shower or a wedding. That's what it talks about. So you've got the Eight of Swords. This is like a self-imposed prison. So maybe in the past you didn't believe in yourself and you thought you couldn't jump from here to here because it seemed too far. You overthought it. It was because of your own limitations in your head. So maybe you overthink things, and you overthink things way beforehand before jumping into it. It says that you lack the self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want, thinking that you're powerless in a situation, or in fact it's the opposite. So it means that maybe you self-isolate a lot, like in the past as well. That's what it's saying with Aquarian. Aquarians tend to be very independent, free thinkers. They don't always think the same as other people. They're more the innovators. They're an innovator rather than a group mob psychology type of person. So they will be the ones that think outside the box and come up with solutions that you may not have even gotten around to thinking about because it's so left field. It just says here that you had the resolve and the determination that you would have needed in your life, so you just needed to believe in yourself. Taking responsibility for yourself and feeling that you're entrapped in some situation which you really weren't, but you had the power to get out. You had the key. I'm getting a picture of a key. The Magician is a really cool card. This is like the rock star card, I call it. So this Magician is the first card of the astrology tarot deck, and it talks about doing anything, taking charge of your life. It can represent an Aries in your life. Maybe you've got an Aries moon, but it's very much a go-getter, a forward thinker. They like to be first in line. They like to be winning the race. They would, try and get first place, or at least attempt to. So they're very competitive as Aries. They've got that get up and go that most people don't have. Aries is very much the warrior energy. So you've got that crowning you. So right now you're coming into an Aries cycle. So maybe you're coming across more like an Aries than an Aquarian. And it says here that you need to take charge of your life, which is what you're doing. Success due to excellent training, the talent to accomplish great things, and visualizing your hopes and dreams. There's nothing you can't accomplish. The fairies are magical and they will help you manifest whatever it is you need to be success, whether it be money, ideas, creative abilities, or friends who are willing to help you out. Understanding what you already have versus what you're in need of allows the fairies to send you the perfect gifts. You have an amazing skill and creative talents that you can rely on. However, it's also wise to seek out good advice from experienced people and allow others to open doors for you, or making introductions to those who can point you in the right direction. So that's really cool. And then you've got the Two of Swords, which is like being undecided whether to go with your heart or your head. So some people might think you'd be really good as doing a job that's methodical, but you're a creative person, so you've got the guitar there. So it's whether to go for something logical or something that's creative. And if you can marry the two, like you can be a manager of a creative company, then that would be more your leanings. That would actually benefit you far greater than doing something very methodical and boring. Like it may pay the bills, but it might not be something that you thoroughly love or you enjoy it. It could be tedious to you. Then we've got the Six of Spring. This is my Tic-a-Tec Parade card. This is when the Newcastle Knights came home. I think it was in 1997. We had a huge Tic-a-Tec Parade for winning the rugby league in Sydney. And they came back on the bus and everyone was screaming. They did a huge Tic-a-Tec Parade. I remember my brother's a huge fan of the Newcastle Knights, and he went to the rally. And so it says, wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success, and public recognition. So you may have come through a really hard period of your life. Maybe you've gone through something very challenging, like everyone has with COVID. And so it's talking about being successful, receiving an award or a scholarship, or being in the public eye, or someone may be helping you from who is very successful in their own rights. Then they may elevate you to a position of power. It's saying congratulations on an excellent job, well done. This isn't a time to be shy or humble. Even if you don't normally seek attention, it's healthy to bask in the glow of your accomplishments. Allow people to see the wonderful things that you've created. Be visible and vocal about your beliefs. Let your unique talents and passions be known. You're a role model, showing others what is possible. Wonderful news is on its way to you. It may be a promotion, a new career opportunity, or an award for going through something. And then you've got here, knowing something that no one else does, or holding the last drop of water in the decanter when there's ice everywhere. She's skating on thin ice. There's a better choice in not seeing things clearly. Maybe you're running away from a truth that you don't necessarily want to face. That's the Seven of Swords. So it's like, yeah, you're skating around a subject or a matter that you don't want to address, wanting to be alone, avoiding unwise partnerships. Review your current plans to see if changes are necessary. As time passes, the reason for disappointments becomes clear. providing you with better opportunities than you had previously imagined. There are people who really don't have your best interests at heart, but by listening to your intuition, you'll be given signs or messages to show you the truth. Pay attention to the red flag warning that broadcast another person's lack of honesty. So there's been people that you live with or you're around that are not being honest. Although you see the best in people, it's time to take blinders off and acknowledge that some people's actions are dishonest. This will allow you to avoid painful situations and dilemmas. Yeah. It's just talking about that, watching who you associate with. 8 of Spring, which is to do with 8 possibilities or 8 balls you are juggling in the air. Stress from having multiple things happening. Sudden events or changes, so you might have a new job, you might have to move house, you may have to move furniture. It's all like going to come in one hit, which, you might be redecorating your home, you might be changing around or doing a new exercise regime. So you've just got several things going on at the moment. The 8 of Spring, which is a good card. It could also mean travel or business-related travel. So you could be like in a job that you have to travel for work. So that could be an option as well. 8 of Spring. Yeah, rapid change. All your wishes are going to come true. So if you've been making wishes like I have lately, across water, usually across bridges, I make a wish with a coin, like a 5-cent piece or a 10-cent piece, and I'm hoping that they all come back. I've made several wishes for several people as well. And so far, so good. My son got a job, so that was a wish I'd had for him because I really wanted him to get a job. So we've got here the Princess of Autumn, and this is someone around you that may be younger than you or may act younger than you. They are a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They've got happy news. It can represent good news about a job coming in for Aquarians, promotions and scholarships. There you go, it's 2 scholarships, wonderful news. So good news coming in, something to be celebrating. The person here is represented, loves to learn, loves to read books, likes to you might have a Virgo moon, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus moon, which talks about being very steady and responsible, but can be quite mischievous, but in a light-hearted fashion. You just like to get on with the job and being methodical about your work, being, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. You're very analytical about paperwork, so maybe you might have a piece of paperwork you have to sign, or a lease you have to sign, that you'll go over with a fine-tooth comb and then not sign it unless it's actually got stated what's on the actual document that is actually true. So you won't go in there without telling all the things that you have to tell in an interview. And then we've got here, I'm pulling, this is the deck for Colette-Baron-Reid. This is just a clarifier. I've got the song of rain. Jason Water. I don't know. It's an old 90s song. Goes something like that. Jason Water. Someone will know what that song is out there. If someone knows it, can you write it in the description comments? That'd be great, because I don't even know the name of it. It's just a popular 90s song. There's a lot of 90s things coming back, I've noticed lately. Oh, The Tribe. That's what we pulled. I've been getting 2-1 a lot. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. 21 or 22. My son's just turned 22. But I keep getting the 2-1 and the 2-2, if that's for someone. Usually partnerships or signing a contract, which is bilateral agreement. So a 2-part agreement. And I'm getting vegan lifestyle. Someone might be switching from Eating. For an Aquarian, we're very sort of natural therapies type of people. I see you going from meat eating to vegan, or just cutting out certain foods in your food group. I got happy. So it's about birthday celebrations. And then something to do with, I don't know, someone in the royal family is going to pass over. I got that the other day. I was watching old footage of Prince Frederick and Princess Mary's birthday celebrations. It was his 50th, and Queen Marguerite walked in a beautiful pink dress, and I was looking at her and I got really emotional. I'm thinking, she's not here for much longer. There's going to be a huge shift in powers that I find in the royalty, in the monarchy, like generally across the globe. Like a few Queen mothers like Marguerite or Queen Elizabeth, I feel like a passing of energy. You know, I know they've just elected Mary as she's now the Queen, and she's the Queen Mother. So she's already stepped down. I see the Queen doing something very similar with Kate and William, and it's going to be only a matter of time because she no longer wants to be in that position. It's too stressful on her. She wants to sit back, and she's been at it for such a long time, but it's just kind of a passing of a passage. It's passing the baton on, and it's kind of sad, but it's I just get this. I've got this sadness surrounding the monarchy, both in the Danish community as well as in the British. So something sad is going to pass, I think, very soon. And COVID hasn't been kind to a lot of people, so that could have something to do with it. After effects. Oh, Spark. That's a good card to get. So we've got Spark and Moonlight. That's the beginning of something. So, first card from the rank is the Tribe, number 8, in the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-Reid. Right. Community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. This card signifies an affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our tribes, families and communities. I Matter membership in the group provides a sense of belonging or kinship and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you're part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You'll be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be small, or showing up as large, or becoming its leader. No matter what your position in the tribe, your presence is needed. You discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those you don't share. There are times when you follow and the other person leads, and times when you lead and the other person follows. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of the dance. Yet you are being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat. You're in the perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be together. Whenever you're in a community of like-minded others, there is a powerful opportunity to reap what abundance. It is essential to ask, what can I contribute rather than what can I get from this? Figure out a need and look to fill it. Something meaningful will manifest, and even if what manifests is small, is a sign that the doors of opportunity will swing open wide. There is also another meaning of this card to consider. Don't try to be all things to all people. Choose your role and be true to it, and serve from a sense of authenticity. There is no greater feeling of accomplishment than knowing you have a purpose. So that's good. Try not to do every role, just do one role rather than 10 roles. 26. Joy and contentment are a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. This is my birthday card for people that are having a birthday. Your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy. Moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of you being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in the now. Enjoy playfully splashing it. There are moments in a relationship when you feel good about whom you're with and you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. The appearance of this card in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship. And if you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself like bees to honey. There is a time to take pride in your accomplishments and you're doing really good work, providing exceptional service and are well compensated for it. The world rains gratitude upon you and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all that you have done? Remember that partnership with Spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always been known. You could accomplish anything if it brought you joy. And then we've got the Spark, which is 34, and Moonlight. You are a clear channel for divine creativity. There is a spark of creativity in you that you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. So all the creatives out there, it says open yourself to inspiration and allow your life to show its beauty and your part in co-creating it. This is the perfect time to give birth to an idea, start a new relationship, a job, or begin an endeavour. Attraction is high as you connect with others who can co-create joyous experiences and join with you in expressing the finer aspects of life. Watching a spark turn to a flame and stoking that fire is a gratifying activity. So yeah, find the spark. And then you've got the Moonlight, which is 51. I think we've recently had a full moon. Yeah, we did, on the 20th. 51. Your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane, the logical and analytical. Follow it. Moonlight beckons. Come and trust your intuition to lead you to places that may not seem logical. Your hunches will be right on target. Resist second-guessing yourself for your alternative perception is especially sharp right now. You can see beyond the surface of things and truly read between the lines. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Remember that the language of intuition is a symbolic one. It comes subtly through a hunch or a tingling, a clear sound or an animal or object crossing your path. Spirit is sending you messages to help you right now. Success is yours if you follow the signs. So it says to listen to your hunches because they're accurate, which I tell people to do that anyway. The gut always knows what the mind just wants to tell you. Otherwise, listen to your gut. And that's the end of the reading for the Aquarius.